Feel like lately I've just been appreciating really simple days a lot more. The other day I went to Cafe Comma in Hapjeong. It's a huge cafe, and we spent the afternoon just ordering drinks and working for a while. But somehow it ended up being one of those days that sticks with you. I got an iced Americano and a pomegranate, and both were so delicious. We went up to the rooftop and the view was breathtakingly beautiful. Hapjeong from above just looks different. You can see all the little streets, the buildings stacked on each other, people going about their day. And then if you look out a bit further, it kind of feels like the whole of Seoul just keeps going. And I remember just sitting there, thinking how strange it is that I'm even here. Like at one point, this was just an idea. Not even a clear plan, just something in the back of my mind, and now I'm actually in Korea, sitting on a rooftop in Hapjeong, drinking an iced Americano like it's normal. And it made me realize how unpredictable life is in the best way. Because if you asked me a while ago if I thought I'd be here, I probably would have said no, or at least not anytime soon. And now it's just part of my life. And I think moments like that make you reflect a bit more. Like how many things in your life right now used to feel far away or unrealistic, and now they're just normal. And it kind of ties into something I've been thinking about a lot recently, which is manifestation. And I know even saying that word can feel a bit I don't know, like you either fully believe in it or you immediately roll your eyes. And honestly, I used to be that person. If someone said, just manifest it, I'd be like, okay, sure. Because it felt unrealistic. Like, how are you just going to think about something and suddenly it happens? But I don't see it like that anymore. I don't think it's about magically making things appear out of nowhere. I think it's more about what you're constantly feeding your mind. Because being here, even something like going to a cafe, it didn't just happen out of nowhere. It's a result of so many small choices, thoughts, moments where I either decided something was possible or I didn't. And I think that's what people mean, just explained in a different way. Like you are what you consume, and I don't just mean food or social media, I mean your thoughts, the way you talk to yourself, the assumptions you make about your life, because your brain is always listening, even when you're joking, even when you say something casually like, I'm just not that kind of person, or that would never happen to me. It kind of takes that seriously. And then you start acting in a way that matches that without even realizing. I ask myself, what kind of mindset am I living in every day? Am I constantly assuming things won't work out? Or am I at least open to the idea that they could? Because when you're open to things, you move differently. You say yes to things you might have avoided before. You notice opportunities that you would have ignored. Even coming to Korea, I think a big part of it was just being open to it, not shutting it down straight away as something unrealistic. And I've also realized how important it is to be careful about what you surround yourself with. Like the content you watch, the conversations you have, the people you spend time with. Because even this day at the cafe, it wasn't just the place, it was the company as well. Being around people who feel easy to be around, who make you feel supported, who naturally push you forward without even trying too hard, it makes a difference. It makes you think differently about yourself and what you can do. And I don't think manifestation is about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's more about choosing what you focus on. Because two people could be in the exact same place, looking at the exact same view and experience it completely different depending on what's going on in the head. The way you speak to yourself every day becomes your normal, and from there it becomes your actions, your habits, your choices. So if your inner voice is constantly telling you that you're not enough or that things won't work out, it's not surprising if your life starts to reflect that. But if you slowly start shifting that, even in small ways, it creates something different. And I don't know, sitting on that rooftop just looking out at everything, it made me realize how much those small shifts matter. Because you don't suddenly wake up in a completely different life. It builds over time. Which is why I think it naturally leads into discipline as well. Because it's one thing to think differently, to believe in yourself a bit more, to be open to things. But it's another thing to actually follow through with that. Like, you can tell yourself all the right things, but if your actions don't match, it starts to feel a bit off. And I used to think discipline was this really intense thing. Like strict routines, no flexibility, just forcing yourself to do things all the time. And I didn't like that at all. But now I see it more as self-respect. Like doing things not just based on how you feel in the moment, but based on what you know is good for you. And that's hard, because most of the time you're not going to feel like doing those things. Even something simple like going to a cafe to work. You could easily just not go. You could just stay in, get distracted, put things off. But choosing to go, choosing to sit down, choosing to actually focus, even a little bit, that's discipline. And it doesn't have to be extreme. Before, it always felt like pressure. Like I have to do this or I should be doing more. That just made me avoid everything. But now I try to think of it as something I'm choosing. Like I get to show up for myself today. I get to build something that feels stable. And I think being in different environments makes you notice this more. Because even this cafe, just being here, made it easier to focus, easier to think, easier to just sit with everything. And it made me realize how much of your surroundings affect you. We always think it's just about willpower, but it's not. Where you are, who you're with, what kind of energy you're around, it all plays a part. And at the same time, discipline isn't about being perfect. You're going to have those days where you don't follow through, where you lose momentum, where you just don't feel like doing anything. And that's normal. The difference is not turning that into a pattern, not making it mean something bigger about you, just letting it be one day and then starting again. And I think when you combine that with everything else, like your mindset, your environment, the people around you, it all starts to make sense. Like things don't feel as forced. You're just slowly moving in a direction that feels right for you. And somehow you end up in places you didn't even fully plan for. Like sitting on a rooftop in Hapjeong, looking out at Seoul, thinking, how did I even get here? But in the best way.